Good evening, everyone. Today I'm just going to go through for the students in lab on Friday what we did this week so you can catch up with the lab on Thursday. So what we're going to work on is the servo motor and trying to get the servo motor to move from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. So opening up the Arduino, you should know how to do this by now. And opening up an example. Today, the example will be, so in File, in Examples, going down all the way to Servo and choosing Sweep. So we're going to sweep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over here. And I am going to talk a little bit about this code. I'm going to see if I can make it just a little bit bigger. So control. Oh yeah, I can. Just got to go the other way around. Ho ho. So, now I'm stuck. It went down, but it won't go back up. Oh yeah, maybe here. I'm just going to pause for a second. So I was able to zoom back in. I just got a mouse that actually works instead of the trackpad. So again, as you remember, every code in the example starts with comments that help you to figure out what's going on. So in this case, the guy that created this code has a website. If you want to go see it, by all means, go for it. And if not, you have the Arduino tutorial, which is very helpful. So we're going to click on that. Yeah, so it's opening over here, and I'm just going to stick it to the other side. And my internet is a little slow, so you're going to have to forgive it. Okay, right here. And I'm going to have to go this way so we see all of it. So servo motor basics. I do invite you to read all this, so you can put a pause on the video and just go read. What you need: the Arduino board, a servo motor, a 10K ohm potentiometer. Not in this case, we don't need it. That's if you're doing a sweep. Maybe you can try it if you want. And hookup wires. So the servo here is for the knob circuit, but that's not the one we did in class. What we did was the sweep. So for the sweep, what you want to do is just, this is the way you plug it in. And I don't know if I can zoom in here. Yeah, look, very nice. So you have a red wire, a brown wire, and a yellow wire coming out of your servo motor. And basically the brown wire is actually the ground. The red wire, it's following the standard that we've set, is for the power. And sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's yellow, is going to be our control wire, which we're going to plug into the pin 9. Okay. And the power and the ground are on the opposite side of pin 9. And you have a 5-volt for the power and ground, GND for ground, right here. So it's as simple as this. You do not need to go through a breadboard. You can just take the wire, put it into the power, take the ground, put it in the ground, take the red wire, put it in the power, and take the yellow wire and put it around. What I suggest if you do that is your red and black wire to be about the same length, because they start from the same place and they go to the other plate, to the same place. And the yellow wire, you can take it a little bit longer, so it allows you to move around. Let's get back to the code and look at the code for a little bit. And let me zoom that back out so we can read everything when we get back to it. So if we look at the code, the first line, if you remember, it's include servo.h. It is a library. It gives you access to a whole bunch of functions, or a little bit, let's call them functions for now, that allow you to use the servo and to move the servo around as you wish. Okay. This line here, it creates your servo. So servo here is a reserved word. That's why it's in red like that. And my servo is the name of your, it's the name you give your servo motor. So it could be my servo. If you have two servos, then you'll have to have two of them. So my servo 1, my servo 2, but it is the name you put to your servo motor. Then init position is equal to 0. So you're setting up a variable here for the position of your servo motor, and you're setting it to 0. You say just start at 0. Then void setup. If you remember what void setup does, is that it sets up the direction of your pins. Do you want your pins to be as an input or an output, or, you know, it really just, in this case, it's attaches, as the word says, pin 9 to this servo. So it says my servo. This is the same name as here, my servo, dot attach pin 9. So it reserves pin 9 for the servo motor. This function, the setup, if you remember, only gets run once at the beginning when you power up your Arduino. Then comes the loop. And remember, the loop is called many times. You loop over and over and over and over again until you unplug the power. And you have a for loop. Last class, we talked about for loops, and we said that it loops as many times as you want. It increments for you. It does the initialization of the position. It's a loop that is here. So what does it do? It says start the position at 0. Then this is the condition. It says while position is less than or equal to 180, and your increment, this is equivalent to writing position is equal to position plus 1. It's a shortened form of it. So let me write it here so you can see it. So the equivalent is position is equal to position plus 1. This is the same thing as this. Okay, I'm going to erase it because if I leave that there, it's not going to compile. Okay, and once the position has arrived, so it does that. And inside the position, it says my servo write position. So what this does is that it sends the position to the servo motor, and then it waits for 15 milliseconds for the servo motor to actually move. So what's going to happen the first time around? You're going to send position 0. The second time around, you send position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, and so on until you get to position 180. Since here it says while less than or equal to, it will send position 180 to the servo motor. The next time around it comes up, it will increment. It will get to position 181. And as soon as it gets to 181, this condition is false, and it comes out of the loop and goes to the next loop. In the next loop, we say, well, my initialization set everything at position 180. While position is greater or equal to 0, please do position is equal to position minus 1. So here what we're doing is we're decrementing. So the first time we run through, it's going to send position 180. Oh, we just sent 180. Doesn't matter. We wait 15 milliseconds. We go back, we decrement, and we send 179. Then the next time around 178, the next time around 177, so on and so forth until we get to 0. And 0, it's still true. This condition is still true. So we go through the for loop one last time, and then position will be equal to minus 1 the next time around, and this condition will be false. And as soon as the condition is false, what do? We come out of the loop and we're finished. And then we come back to loop and do it again. So what this does is that your servo motor goes all the way from 0 to 180, to 0 to 180. Unfortunately, right now, as I'm doing this video for you, I forgot my servo motor at school. And since tomorrow we don't have school, I won't be able to get it. So I really wanted you to have this video to try it. But if you see on this side, it is fairly easy to hook up. You should be able to get it done. Put on the plastic. There's a plastic cap that you can put on so you actually see the movement. If you don't put the plastic cap on, it's harder to see the movement. So a few things about this code. If you want things to go faster, if you want the servo motor to go faster, some people tried putting a delay that's shorter. That's not a good idea. You need those 15 milliseconds for the servo motor to arrive in its position. So please don't change this. What you want to change is you want to change the value of the amount it moves each time. So since you are sending this position, why not increment it by 3 each time? So you'll have 1, 4, 7. It will go up like that, and it will go faster. So try it. Some students try to go to 360 degrees. Well, that's impossible. These servo motors, the particularity of them is they only move 180 degrees. So you have to keep it to 180 maximum. But if you say, well, I want it to go all the way to 90 degrees, I don't want it to go to 100. Maybe I'm doing a movement of a jaw, and a jaw doesn't move 180 degrees. It's probably even less, probably 45 degrees. Oh, not 945, but 45 degrees. And then, of course, you want to come back and decrement from 45. You don't want to go to 180. Otherwise, it's going to do something funny. So please try this out at least once before next Wednesday. If you have any before Wednesday. So in class, I'm going to ask you if you did it. And if you have any questions, we can maybe take a bit of time during UB and I can cover anything that you haven't understood. Enjoy your Monday, your election Monday, and see you in class soon. Bye.